It's a pie-licious day here on Mass Appeal. We're going to whip up a sweet and a savory pie. We're doing so with Tinky Weisblat, TinkyCooks.com. Michael Collins, the Barrel Shop. You do so much there. Thank you both for joining us today.
Well, we're happy to be here.
Now, it wouldn't be a Tinky appearance on Mass Appeal without some awesome event that's coming up, and it's a pie event. Is that correct?
It's a pie extravaganza.
Excellent. All right, tell us all about it.
It's called the Holly Gentleman's Pie and Tart Extravaganza. It's coming up on Sunday the 9th in East Holly, and you can find lots of information about it at puddingcontest.com. Don't ask me why it says pudding contest.
Unimportant.
Unimportant.
And gentlemen making pies.
Gentlemen will compete to see who makes the best pie.
Now, so women can't compete?
Women cannot compete, but they can come and have fun and have lunch, and there's entertainment in which I play a 25-year-old girl, of course, my exact age.
I feel as if you're not coming. I don't know what you're thinking. So let's get to the pies, though. Today we're making a sweet and a savory pie. And eventually you can see Tinky playing the role of a 25-year-old girl, which shouldn't be that much of a stretch for you.
No, not
you
at all.
strike me as a 30-year-old woman.
They're very close. Very
yeah,
close.
okay, good. Shall we start with Michael? What are you doing over here?
Well, I'm just rendering the bacon, which you have in front of you.
Yes.
And I'm going to take that away from you. And in this rendered oil, I'm going to put my shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah,
These are fresh. I just take with my impeccably clean hands and just, instead of chopping them, just cutting them.
All right, that's easy enough. We appreciate you
these,
washing your hands.
These we save for stock.
Oh, the mushroom stems you save for stock.
Yeah,
okay.
but you can't eat them because they're too rubbery and hard.
I get you. Okay.
He doesn't. I got him a spoon, but he doesn't need it.
No.
He's like a chef.
Yeah, exactly. He's good. Yeah, Michael's good to go. He's the real deal.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in the herbs.
Okay.
Which are thyme, fresh thyme, a tablespoon. Tablespoon of fresh basil.
Oh, smelling good.
Tablespoon of parsley. Salt and pepper, which I have.
These are the makings of a great omelet.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
it's kind of like an omelet.
Now I'm going to use the spoon.
All right.
Just because Tinky gave it to me.
Now, why don't we let that cook down for a few seconds? Tinky, what pie are you going to be making for us
I
today?
will be making a rustic apple tart, just to show people that you don't really have to roll out pie dough if you don't feel comfortable doing it. So,
yeah, why not? Make it rustic.
Exactly.
And then you call it rustic or artisanal, and people inherently love it.
People don't care how it looks.
Yeah, it's a great way to get out of a poorly designed pie.
Precisely. So Michael's doing his thing. Shall I start? Well,
I would love for you to start.
Okay, so basically, let's start with our flour and sugar.
Right here?
That's right. And salt, and I'm just going to whisk those very quickly.
Okay, and I imagine we're putting a whole lot of butter in it?
All that, so that's a stick of butter. And I cut it into little pieces. It should be cold when you put it in. So I cut it in pieces and have the pieces in the fridge. The idea with pastry is that you usually want everything cold. And you'll see in a minute why that's important.
And we're making more of a crust than we are a dough, so it's okay if it's a little bit flaky and the butter's a little bit chunky in there.
Exactly.
Is that right?
So you can do a couple of different things. You can cut this with a knife. You can cut it with a pastry blender, but my pastry blender broke yesterday because my butter was too cold. So and you can also do it with your fingers. Ideally, if you do it with your fingers, what you're going to want to do is really refrigerate your dough before you use it.
And clean your hands.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
That too. So, are we back to Michael?
Sure, let's go back to Michael.
Okay, let's go.
How are your mushrooms doing, honey?
They're perfect. Now we're ready. They don't have to do a lot.
Because they're going to bake.
See?
That's true. We don't want to overcook them because we're going to be putting them in the oven.
This bacon.
He has a pie crust.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
Now, are we getting close to tart range at this point? Are we going from pie to tart, or is the pan makes it a tart? Okay.
Well, the pie also, see, he's going to have a top crust.
Okay, I get you.
So a pie generally, although you can, by the way, enter a tart also in our contest.
Now, tarts are allowed.
Tarts are allowed,
and
shepherd's
if there's
pie,
a little,
whatever.
A little of that bacon fat is not going to hurt us.
No, in fact, it'll make us feel like $1 million.
That's looking
Absolutely.
quite beautiful.
Now, it looks nice.
Now, to that, we add eggs.
This is 4 eggs. Okay. Large eggs. 1/4 cup of milk, or half and half.
Okay.
Or cream, whatever you have.
Whatever your diet says is all right.
And then we just pour this
the pie crust.
And now we pop that in the oven
Oh, he had puts on the top crust.
Oh, the top crust. I forgot
Remember,
about the top crust.
that's why it's not a
and
tart.
that's why it's not a tart, exactly.
It could probably be a tart. And
Or
you could just
Well, now it's a tart.
Now it's a tart.
That's true.
So
We're
if
going to
you
go from
wanted
tart to pie.
And we're just going to put this over nicely. Don't worry. It doesn't have to be so fabulously beautiful.
Yeah, 'cause we're going to tell all our friends it's rustic.
All it has
and
to do
artisanal.
is cover what you have in there.
Everything Michael does is artisanal.
I could have guessed that just by looking at it.
Well, I was glad to get the basil this morning.
I was
My
going to
own
say,
basil.
it's the end of the basil
Oh,
season.
it is. It's
Now
going
we
fast.
just
Little.
take that and we pop this into it. Now, you could put an egg wash on here if you wanted to.
And that'll help make it golden brown on top.
Yes. But for the sake of our TV show.
Yeah, I'll pop that in for you.
Thank you.
So here we go. At what temperature and for how long?
What we do is we put it in for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. Then we reduce it to 350 for 30 minutes. So
And it'll be
40 minutes, it's
And then
done.
in
40 minutes,
like
it looks
that.
just like that.
It looks just like this.
Isn't that pretty?
I know. This looks
Especially
great.
with his basil on top. Okay.
Yes, now we want to make yours too.
Yes,
Tinky.
so
How are we
why
going to do
don't
that?
here's my little egg yolk.
Gotcha. Do you want me to whisk it for you?
Well, first we're going to add to it 3 tablespoons of extremely cold water. I just got that out of the refrigerator. Ice water, basically. Because again, it's about keeping everything cool.
Gotcha.
Then we're going to whisk it.
All right, let's whisk it up.
Go right ahead. Be my whisker.
And now that's going to go into our crust.
That's going to go into our crust.
Now your idea, what you're working with, is more of an open-faced pie
Yes,
today.
it's extremely...
It's the rusticiest.
Yep. Okay, we can use that same fork.
Okay.
We're going to mix it, and then if we need a little more water, which generally you do, we can add it. Because what you want it to do is kind of be able to clump together, but not be too wet.
Just enough.
Yeah, if it gets too wet, it kind of collapses.
So you can add water, but you can't take it out.
You got it.
I've been doing this for a while
You've been doing
now.
this a few times. A little
I've
more
learned so
water?
much from you.
Okay, then we're going to
Yes.
form that into a ball. We're going to put it in wax paper, and we're going to refrigerate it.
And it looks something like
This.
da-da-da-da, this.
Then here's the fun part.
We roll it out.
Well, we could roll it out, but we're just
We smush it out.
We're smushing it out. You want to do this again as fast as possible to keep the butter cold. And as you will see from what we did in the refrigerator, ideally, yeah, it's kind of a mess. Ideally, after this stage, we're also going to refrigerate it. And what happened was I didn't have quite enough time to refrigerate it. If you don't refrigerate it long enough, Seth, you're such a hero to me. Then the butter kind of oozes out the edges.
It looks
but it's
beautiful,
still
though.
beautiful,
Oh,
and it
wow.
will be delicious and crunchy.
And so we add to the flat dough, we add some cinnamon apples.
Put some more cinnamon apples in, please.
All right.
I'm going to do this. We may not do a full-size one. We'll just
No,
do
but you
part
know
of
what?
one.
Luckily for us, Tinky, look at that camera shot right there.
Oh, I'm in
How
love.
gorgeous is that? So once again, the pie extravaganza
Pie
is coming up.
extravaganza, October 9th.
Gentlemen, get ready to get your submissions in.
And
Thank you so
even
much.
if you're not a gentleman, please come because it will be so much fun.
I was going to say, the ladies haven't made. You just get to eat pie all day.
Exactly.
I don't think I can enter.
Oh, yes, you could enter this very pie.
No, you should.
I think you
Sweet,
should
savory, doesn't matter if you want all our pie
Oh,
recipes.
all right.
You go to mymassappeal.com.